Hey, so if you follow my channel, you may remember that a few days ago, I shared a video where I did some photography work out in Eastern California, specifically a small town, a very small town named Keeler. Now, I am by no means a professional editor or videographer for that matter, but I try my best to put together a video that shared with you my experience being there, the images that I created, and also the unique and just wild history of this town and the environment surrounding it, which I didn't know anything about when I first came across this place a couple of years ago. I just happened to be driving by, and one of the things I like to do especially during the middle of the day, when the light isn't as good and the light isn't particularly good for landscape work especially, I like to get out and explore, right? I mean, just to see what else is out there, just to see what's at the end of a road or around the next corner, because you never know what you're gonna find. And that's exactly what led me to Keeler. Like, I remember driving in there and getting out of the car and walking around and taking some photos. And at first I wasn't taking it particularly all that serious, because there are other ghost towns nearby. There's other similar places like Bodie. Bodie is nearby. That one's probably more well known. But I could tell that there was something unique and there was something different about it. Not simply because of the buildings and the cars and the vehicles and the like, but also the environment around it, because there was this just flat, dry plain behind the town. And just all this like weird industrial kind of equipment was there. It was just highly unusual. And I remember walking around and looking at everything, and just the totality of it all felt like some weird kind of like post-apocalyptic scene almost. And it was, you could just tell that like something had happened there. Like this was not normal, in other words. So when I left there, I started doing research about it online. And the more I learned about it, and the more I learned about the history, and the more I learned about, what transpired there over, the past 100+ years, the more I wanted to go back and photograph it. The more I wanted to go back and do more there, because I was just so compelled by the story and the history. And so that's exactly what I did. I went back and I spent much more time there, created more images. I actually had an opportunity to meet some locals when I was there too. There are a few people that still live there, some of which, all three people I met actually have been there for years and years and years. So when I got back and I started putting that video together and I started editing everything, and I was like looking at all the images, and I was, writing, things about it, and I was, putting everything together, I started thinking about it, and I started thinking, I want to do something more with this. Like, I don't just want to put out a video. I don't just want to put images on social media and write a blog post and a newsletter. I mean, that is a lot. Don't get me wrong. All of that is a lot unto itself. But I wanted to do something more. So I made a zine. Tip of the hat to photographer Nick Carver, because that is where I got the idea to produce this. And if you subscribe to my channel, I hope you are also subscribed to his, because he has a great YouTube photography channel. I'll link to him down below in the video description, just in case, if you'd like to check him out. And this, by the way, is professionally printed. This is not something that I made myself. It's perfect bound with like 100-pound cover on it with like 80-pound pages. I think I'm going to increase the weight of this a little bit, but I mainly did this just to see like, what the print quality would be like, because I haven't done this in a very long time. I used to do print design back in the day, a long time ago, and I used to work in Quark Express and, all that kind of stuff. And I used to have to work with like zip drives and jazz drives and pre-flight software and, oh man, fonts and images and press checks at a Heidelberg press in the middle of the night, CMYK, all that. Yeah, good times. Anyway, so yeah, it was fun to make, and I was curious to see, like, is this something I could actually do? Like, is this something that will be, sufficient quality, not just for me, but, for other people as well? And I'm really pleasantly surprised. I'm really surprised and happy with how this turned out. I think it looks really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a short print run of this. I'm not sure what the actual number is quite yet at the time of this video, but I'll know by the time you see this, you'll know. I'll put a link down below in the video description. I need to check and see what the cost is and all that. And I don't want to do too many, because quite frankly, I don't have room for like a bunch of these, but I want to make enough so that anyone who's interested in getting one of these can get one. So similar to what Nick did with his, I will be offering free shipping for these in the United States. And then if you live somewhere else in the world, there'll be like an additional cost to cover the postage because it is more expensive, obviously. And this is not like a money-making thing for me. I mean, I'm mainly doing it just quite honestly for the joy and the experience of putting together a printed piece. And of course, I'll be signing these too. And, once I get them, and I'll ship it out to you as soon as they're ready. As always, I appreciate your time and attention. Thanks for being here. And I'll see you next time.